illustration to commit them to paper, thus giving us the freedom to invent our own spellings, which is what I do with great pleasure. Here are two illustrations of names and the sense of humor that makes them special. Jean-Baptiste and Angélique. As Jean-Baptiste is pronounced in French as Jean-Baptiste, what comes off the Cree tongue is Samba cheese, which is how I, with my Cree writer's license, choose to spell it, also keeping in mind that Samba and cheese meant nothing to us, just as Kagitu Michisk more than likely means nothing to you. As for Angélique, it is pronounced in French as Angélique, and so comes out in Cree as Aslik, keeping in mind that the two words again meant nothing to us. But because there were several Asliks in the village and other villages on Reindeer Lake, and several Samba cheeses for that matter, we had to distinguish them one from the other with certain descriptive prefixes. So because this one particular Aslik was of a certain size, we called her Big Angélique, which comes out in Cree as Mist Aslik. Keeping in mind that, as in English, with its big and large, Cree has two words for big. The first is Magi, as in Magi Palm, big thigh. The second is Mist, or Misty. The difference being that if the noun the adjective precedes begins with a consonant, the word is misty, as in Misty Bob, which means Big Bob. And if the noun it precedes begins with a vowel, then the Y is omitted, so that the prefix ends up as mist, as in Mist Ass Lick. As for the others, they are just the way the Cree tongue tried to accommodate the English or French language. Examples are Happy Doll, Rudolph, Stare, Esther, Aruzali, Rosalie, Cecilia, Cecilia, and Half-Ass, Alphonse. Notes on a few additional terms. Mamik. In Cree, there are two words for the idea of south. One is Sawanuk, which means the cardinal direction. The other is Mamik, which also means the cardinal direction, but is more sociological in connotation. Slightly disdainful, it means in the south, where the Munyas live. The insinuation being, so who'd want to go there? Métis, half-breed. The original meaning of Métis was someone who is half Cree and half French. It comes from the French word for half, as in moitié. A half-breed, on the other hand, is someone who is half Cree and half English or half Scottish or half any other kind of white European. Munyas. A generic term, a nickname if you will, that we use to indicate non-native people. Strictly speaking, it has no meaning. In fact, the closest I can come to defining it is he or she who is not very good at whatever he or she is doing. But then that's not it either. It just sort of touches ever so slightly on the act of teasing. Ultimately, it is a charming word. Far from insulting, rather does it throb with guarded affection. Ni and Kuthsli. The first Cree, the second Dene. Both are the most common words in either language. And both are expressions meaning good grief, or as if, or oh, come on. With the Cree, the more outrageous the story being told, the longer the reaction to it, as in, nee. Two-spirit. The Indigenous term said in English for homosexual, queer, fag, dyke, or whatever, only much less abusive, in a word more respectful. It means a person has two spirits, one male, one female, and that both are equally valid. Frequently, though there are of course always exceptions, they are magic people who bring the colors of the rainbow to the black, white, and boring, and dangerous world of heterosexuality. Let's put it this way. Without them, Cher would have nothing to wear and have no hairdo. Wisagichak. The Cree incarnation of the trickster, the god of laughter, the insane clown spirit who motors the Cree language. Central to their character is their unfettered concupiscence, for their sexual pleasure has no limit, which is why virtually every second word of the language pulsates with sexual innuendo, hence the over-the-top, wild sense of humor that lives at its core. Indeed, one finds resonance of this aspect of the trickster's persona in the figures of the Greek gods Priapus and Dionysus. Cree has no gender. Witigo. The Cree cannibal spirit who eats men's flesh and, more important, their souls, their spirits. He, in fact, is a metaphor for starvation which, in those parts back then,